This is a work in progress, hence I'm still on book, but I figured I wanted to present something new as opposed to just rehashing something that was more, fine-tuned and well-oiled machine. So hopefully this is still up to par. Anyways, okay. And this is called High School Sweetheart. In spite of being as queer as the day is long, I find myself oft reminiscing about high school. Yeah, in the I can't believe how lucky I was to see my friends in person sort of way, but also because that was when I befriended my first real online friend, Sebastian. Communication as a whole felt so much easier then, even when talking to someone across oceans and time zones. Honestly, the time difference actually helped sometimes. Like the times I remember being able to talk to him the most were when I was in school while he was just settling in for the night. Sebastian lived in the UK, mostly Belfast, but sometimes London. Either way, it lined up perfectly that on half days we got to video chat. I remember one time we went on a virtual lunch date, well, lunch for me and dinner for him, wherein I perched in a diner in the Skyway with my laptop, ate cheap chicken fingers, siphoned Wi-Fi, and talked to Sebastian for hours. After that, we were both so enraptured in each other's company that as soon as I got home, I plugged in my laptop and went right back to Skyping for hours longer. I felt a wee bit guilty for keeping him up so late, but luckily whatever holiday warranted a half day was international, so thankfully he could sleep in after we spent all night gay sleepovering. Other than half days, we also had lunches and free periods, in which I include study hall, because really, who can tell the difference between writing an essay and writing a dense verbose letter to a friend, am I right? Actually, the line between schoolwork and Sebastian correspondence blurred sometimes, and not just the times I doodled a jazz-age Sophie Brown for him in my notebook while studying The Great Gatsby in English, or made him a Valentine in Spanish. I name-checked him twice in my public speaking assignments, once while talking about the book I wrote, Sophie Brown Isn't Dead, since him fanboying over that was actually how we met. The other, a fake wedding speech for Amanda Palmer and Neil Gaiman, two artists we were both fans of at the time, in which, between gratuitously covering Amanda Palmer songs, I gave Sebastian a shout-out as my +1. I was given the song Love Don't Turn Away as a singing assignment, Performing Arts High School, and so, as my method acting substitution, I cast Sebastian as File, for reasons you'll soon see. And I know a lady never reveals their substitutions, but Uta Hagen ain't the boss of me, and what is cabaret performance if not substitution skills persisting? Sorry, I made myself laugh with that one, so I had to include it. Anyways, I have so many things I want to do for you. I have so many things saved up to say. I have so many longings that belong to you. So love, don't turn away. I have so many songs I want to sing to you. I have so many smiles that I could cry. I have so many kisses I could bring to you. So love, don't pass me by. I can't offer you lots of fancy things to make you come and stay, but I could be beside you every night and sing you lots of sweet songs every day. So love, if you're looking for a quiet place, I've a heart that is absolutely free. Open arms that are aching for their first embrace. So love, discover me. Love, don't pass me by. Love, don't turn away. Anyways, on top of the idyllic lifestyle of a performing arts high school, I also had the luxury of an open campus, which meant that even with all of downtown St. Paul at my disposal, I spent most of my time at the Starbucks across from where most of my classes were, so that I could write to Sebastian right up until the last possible second, close my laptop, and haphazardly scamper off to wherever I needed to be, often begrudgingly, in spite of how genuinely fascinating my classes were. I remember one particular instance in which I was stolen away from what felt like such grand romantic correspondence with Sebastian, an artist I admired, a kindred spirit across the sea, fluent in my soul speak, affection dripping from every character we typed to one another, just to have to go to a class in which we were studying Moulin Rouge to hear characters extol the virtues of freedom, beauty, truth, and love, as if I weren't just experiencing what felt like the living embodiment of such while talking to Sebastian. Counterintuitive cock-blocking that was. The romantic, artistic fervor of La Traviata seemed meek compared to how I perceived Sebastian and I's shared bohemian bravado. With that said, we were still just two teenagers loitering at our respective Starbuckses, and given the countless hours between us in such a familiar place, the topic of what we drank while perching of course came up. Being Irish, Sebastian was always one for a good cuppa, but his favorite coffee I remember him always talking about was the eggnog latte. He spoke about that as if it were ambrosia, manna from heaven. Granted, his version had a leg up on the American one, since due to drinking ages being younger there, his was always spiked. Nonetheless, he raved about it and insisted I try it sometime. And of course he piqued my interest, but I didn't even dream of trying the eggnog latte without him. I said that I'd add it to our ever-lengthening list of things we should do together once we finally met in person. I would so often dream of that future, where we'd meet and hang out, and he'd take me to all his usual haunts, pubs and parks and formidable libraries with dark academia aesthetics. And, of course, Starbucks. There were many places in St. Paul he wanted to see too, all the Fitzgeraldian landmarks, including, of course, the statue of F. Scott that I'd always pose with at finale and tag Sebastian as if he were my date to prom, certain theaters, my own dark academia-looking school, and, of course, Starbucks. I would have been overjoyed to go anywhere in the world with him. If he was like, I want to visit you in Timbuktu, even though that doesn't even exist anymore, I'd be like, sure, let's find an old map and figure out where that would be. I would have gone to the ends of the earth for him. Someday I will go to Belfast, and someday I will go to London. I will go to the parks, and I will go to the pubs, and I will go to the libraries. And I will go to Golders Green to visit Sebastian, his memorial, and I will get an eggnog latte in his memory. But in the meanwhile, every year since his death, I've gotten an eggnog latte on his birthday. We were almost birthday twins and both Scorpios, so prime time for holiday drinks. Lucky for us. And every time I drink it, I feel like I'm sharing it with him as I go to Bethesda and walk around to places I wish I could have shown him. You know, about a month before he died, I had actually arranged to give him a virtual tour of New York City. I was freshly transplanted from my Midwestern soil, but my roots were already firmly planted in the new ground, and I was so eager to show him every last inch of the city I knew and explore all the places I didn't with him on the other end of the phone. I was so looking forward to that. But life got busy, and I didn't write to him as much as I'd intended to, and before I got the chance to check in with him to see when might work to Skype, while scrolling through Facebook, I instead saw posts about him in the past tense. April 3rd, 2015, 6 whole years ago. And now I'm back in NYC, taking walks and basking in the beauty of the city that I never got to show Sebastian. But sometimes I like to pretend. Your dead best friend is walking up the stairs. He's walking up the stairs with you. What is the wind saying? Does it tell who isn't there? Do the spirits haunt us by blowing through our hair? It's not our world anymore. It's not our world anymore. Your dead best friend is walking up the stairs. He's walking up the stairs with you. I walk with Sebastian and show him things like cool street art or graveyards or a bunch of pigeons. theaters that held shows he loved, and parks I could imagine him busking in. I've taken him to plays and concerts and museums. I put his picture up on an ofrenda that I was invited to contribute to in Brooklyn, screamed his name at grief rallies on Christopher Street, and scrawled his name in multiple gay bars. One of Kate Bornstein's 101 alternatives to suicide for teens, freaks, and other outlaws is to get drunk and have a dead loved one walk you home. And I've done that more times than I can recall after drinking bad beer in Irish pubs bedecked in pride flags. I like to think he's been there with me at the old Blue Stockings and seen me perform my memorial pieces for him. I hope I made him proud. But I don't want him in my heart. I want him here with me. But since I don't have that choice, I'll settle for the next best thing. Other death witches have said, we tell ourselves stories in order to live. And this is the story I keep coming back to over and over and over again. You don't ever have to be stronger than you really are when you're lying in my arms, baby. You don't ever have to go faster than your fastest pace or faster than my fastest cars. I shouldn't have done it, but I read it in your letter. You said to a friend that you wish you were doing better. I wanted to reach out, but I never said a thing. I shouldn't have done it, but I read it in your letter. You said to a friend that you wish you were doing better. I wanted to call you, but I didn't say a thing. Oh, I'll pick you up if you come back to America. Just hit me up, 'cause this is crazy love. I'll catch you on the flip side. If you come back to California, you should just hit me up. We'll do whatever you want, travel wherever, how far. We'll hit up all the old places. We'll have a party. We'll dance till dawn. I'll pick up all of your Vogues and all of your Rolling Stones, your favorite liquor off the top shelf. I'll throw a party all night long. You don't ever have to be stronger than you really are when you're lying in my arms. And honey, you don't ever have to be cooler than you think you should. You're brighter than the brightest stars. You're scared to win, scared to lose. I heard the war was over if you really choose the one in and around you. You hate the heat, you've got the blues, changing like the weather, oh that's so like you. The Santa Ana moves you. Oh, I'll pick you up if you come back to America. Just hit me up, 'cause this is crazy love. I'll catch you on the flip side. If you come back to California, you should just hit me up. We'll do whatever you want, travel wherever, how far. We'll hit up all the old places. We'll have a party. We'll dance till dawn. I'll pick up all of your Vogues and all of your Rolling Stones, your favorite liquor off the top shelf. I'll throw a party all night long. Oh, I'll pick you up if you come back to America. Just hit me up, 'cause this is crazy love. I'll catch you on the flip side. If you come back to California, you should just hit me up. Je t'aime, darling.